Hello, in this tutorial we are going to create the world map that you see here. It is fully interactable. All the different countries can be selected. It is made from actual real world map data that is free and readily available. It can also be used in any private and commercial projects. So let's get started. The starting point of this tutorial will be a blank project with nothing in it. It's a completely empty map. Only thing is a README from the GitHub, I think. So yeah, just go ahead and create a brand fresh new project if you want to follow along. Or you can try to implement this into an existing one. It's up to you, but then it will get a bit more complicated. We are going to need a tool to process our real world data. And for this, we are going to use something called QGIS, which is a geographical information software. It's free and open source, and is generally used to create maps for all kinds of different purposes. So it's used by scientists, cartographers, and now also game developers. So just click download and go ahead and download and install this guy. When you are finished downloading and installing QGIS, open it up and you should see something similar to this. There are a lot of buttons, a lot of menus, a lot of things. QGIS is a deep and complicated software that can do a lot of things. This is not a QGIS tutorial, so we will not delve into anything else than what we need to do for this task. So the first thing that we need to do inside QGIS is to get some real-world data into it. So now go to a site called naturalearthdata.com. This site has a lot of vector and raster map data that can be used in QGIS, and it's free of charge. It can be used for private and commercial projects, so it's perfect for our needs. Let's go to downloads. Here you can see that we have three different scales. So these are depending on how detailed we want our map to be. This method works with all sizes, so pick the one that you want, but for this tutorial I'm going to take the smaller scale. Under here we also have different tabs. So we have, for bigger one at least, something called raster, which is basically like, I can show you. It's height maps and terrain maps, stuff like that. And we have physical maps, which kind of reflects the physical objects like lakes, rivers, landmass, oceans, stuff like that. And secondly, you have cultural, which are like man-made things. So it's countries, borders, cities, and in the bigger ones you also have like ports, airports, roads, you name it. Anyways, we are going to need the one for countries. I'm choosing the one without boundary lakes, so that the lakes will be reflected on the map. So let's go ahead and download that one. And go back to QGIS. Then we just take the zip file that we just downloaded, take it, and just drag it here under the layers. And boom, here we have our world map. These different countries are all kind of vector points that creates this country. So what we need to do now is to extract all those points. So for that, we are going to need a plugin. So go to plugins on the top menu here, manage and install plugins. Let's search for something called QGIS. This one right here, and install plugin. Good. So it tells you when everything is installed. You can just close the plugin screen, and you see that you have a new menu point on the top here called QGIS. So from here, let's go to Import Export and go to Geometry Export to CSV file. So click that one. So let's just set an output folder. For my case, I have created a blank. Project. So I'm just going to put it there. Like so, and also change the delimiter to semicolon. Then it should be all good. Yeah, apply. Great. So now if we go to the root folder on our project, we should, yeah, we see that we have two new files right here. Now, let's take a look at the files that we just got. So if we start off with the nodes file, we see that it's it's a CSV obviously. So the values are shape ID, part ID, X and Y. And these are all polygon points. Where the first one is the shape ID is indicating the country, and the part ID is that if the country has multiple parts, like islands or if it's a split country, something like that. And secondly, and the last two parts are the X and Y coordinates of that polygon point. So yeah, let's do some Excel work on this one first. We can do this inside Godot, but I think it's preferable to just do it in Excel, so they have a clean file to get into. So yeah, just in case you don't know Excel that well, click A on the top and then just mark the whole column. And then go to the Data tab. And finally, Text to Columns. So click on Delimited, Next, and choose, for delimiters, choose semicolon. Now we see in the preview here that we split this column into 4. And then we can just finish. Now it's the exact format as we want it. Another thing that we need to do, just because Godot has a bit of a trouble in handling, that many decimals. So we need to round it to 4. So click the cell on the top row, equal, and round. Now, keep in mind, this formula might be different if you have a different localization of Excel, if you have a country-specific formula. So just find what's just find your round formula and you should be fine. All right, and then click this cell, number of digits 4. Then just it then automatically takes the one that is next to it. Let's click the little button there, all the way down. See, now it has automatically rounded all these ones. Then mark all the rounded ones. Click X and paste it, but we need to paste the values, like so. Now we see that we have 4 digits on all. Just let's remove the ones that we calculated. And also let's remove the top row here. Like so. And save it. I would also like to rename the file just for, so instead of temp1, I'm just going to name it provinces. It is technically countries, but I often like to have, other, to use other things to define countries and not the land area. So let's keep it the provinces. And we have also the other file. We are not going to use that one in this tutorial, but if you are going to make a game out of this, I would definitely recommend it. So if you go to it, you see this has basically all the information that you need about the different countries. So we can do the same thing as we did with the other one, just to get it more structured. So go to data, text to columns, delimited, next, semicolon, finish. And okay. So you see, you first have the shape ID, which is kind of the country ID that corresponds in the other file. And you have the full name, you have the short handle for the name, and basically just a lot of different information about that country. So if you're creating a grand strategy game, this basically have everything you need, including continents and everything. All right. Now that we have the file ready to go, let's start with the fun part. Actually, one more thing before we move on. We need to do some changes to the file. You see, Godot polygons, they will get an error if you have the same value twice. So if there are duplicates, it will not function correctly. So we need to fix that first. So what we do is just mark these 4 columns. We go to data and we go to remove duplicates, this button right here. So, okay. Now you see it found 356 duplicates. Okay, good, and then save. Another thing is that Godot is not that fan of CSV files because it automatically thinks it's a translation file. And even if you don't, you cannot, edit it inside the editor if it's a CSV file. So just change the name to txt directly on the file like this. You will get a warning, but just click yes. Don't worry about it. Do the same thing with the other one as well. So just in case you want to use that one. So now everything should be ready for us. Good. Now inside Godot, we can finally see that we have 2 new files here, which are obviously the files we just created. So one text file with the different our provinces, and the other one with attributes. So yeah, since we made them text files, we can access them directly from the editor. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new scene. We don't need anything there yet, just play, select current, just save it this way. So you can just call it main or whatever. And also let's attach a script to the main node, like so. Then we are going to create another scene. Let's just call it province. We're not going to have a root type 2D. We are going to have a root type area 2D, so need to find that one. Yeah. Okay. The area 2D node has kind of different cool properties. So if you assign a polygon to it and a collision shape, it reacts to other objects colliding with it, also including if you mouse enter or if you click it. And now let's just create a function for if we click on the province with our mouse, so we can like select different countries when we get that up and running. So let's create an input event. Click that one and connect. Yeah, of course, we need to have a script first. So province script, like so. Input event, connect, connect. So now we got the input event function in our script. So, okay. So input event mouse button. Event x equals mouse button left. So, okay, yeah. So what I want to happen if we press the country is that I want to make it glow red. Or not glow red, but be colored red. So this line of code right here, it just, what it does is that it makes sure that all the other countries lose the red color. So 111 is the color white. So basically we just want to do that. So when you click a new country, the old one goes away. Not the most efficient way, but it works. And this is for when actually click it. So then we need the color for red. Like so. All right, then save it. And let's go back to our main scene and our main script. So let's create some variables in the beginning here. We need to have a path to our province node file. So let's just call it file path. And then you can just click this one. We want the province node file. Copy path. Make it a string, like so. And we also want to have, need to load the province scene that we just created. Just let's get the path for that one as well. like so. Okay, so the first things, when this one is ready, we want to open our text file. It's the file access class, open. So we can read it. And we're going to make a dictionary with all the polygons in that file. Then we are going to process it. Basically, it will just keep running until you have reached end of the file. You want to split the line up in different parts. Then just do a control check, just in case you have any faulty lines. So just make sure that all the lines have at least those 4 parts that we need. So the shape ID is the first part of the parts. Just make sure that it's an integer. Just going to copy it for the part ID as well. Rx equals this one. We need to have a float. 2 and 3, x, y, like so. That should be all of them. So first we're going to check if the shape ID already exists. If not, we're going to create a new list with those points. So less or equal to part ID. Just copy it, so not a bit hard writing it. So then we append it to the list. Then append the polygon point itself, which is a vector 2. And now this is a really important point, because the first one is of course the x value, and the second is y, but we need to have a minus in front of it, just because how Godot reads to the points as opposed to QGIS. So this minus here is really important. Keep that in mind. For shape ID in polygons keys. Yeah. Going to make a new function. Shape. Where we need the shape ID. And the polygons. Okay. Let's create a new function in the bottom here. Create shape. Keep it more simple. Now we instance the province scene that we made earlier. And to make it easy for us, we want to kind of name all the provinces by their shape ID. So that's a kind of a nice country ID. We're just going to add them as a child for under the main scene. Yeah. Polygon points. Part ID. Yeah, let's make, and we need another function to actually create the parts. So Okay, new function, create part. Parent node, part ID, points. So we have already done this in the Excel file, but just to be sure, have another duplicate check inside the function. So let's create the actual polygon by using the polygon 2D class. So I give it the polygon properties of those points. I give it the name of the part ID. So part ID again was the different parts of a greater shape like the country. We also need collision because the polygon is only the visual part, so we also need the part that can detect collisions. So collision object, no, not object, collision polygon. Yes. We just give it the same points as the other one, so the physical and the collision perfectly aligns. I just also give it the same name, so we just can easily see what collision polygon fits the normal polygon. Of course, we need to add the child to the area 2D. Child, of course, like that. Now that should be it. Let's press play and see how it looks. Okay, I see that we have something there. We just need to put in a camera so you can see properly. So, find the camera to the node, like so. Okay, it's a bit small. Let's put it closer. So on the camera, go to inspector, and it should have some zoom properties. So let's try 3. So, okay, so now it's zoomed in. Press play. Now you can see that we have a selectable map. So the country that we select, like such red. So this is exactly what we wanted. We see that we have one problem here down with South Africa. I don't really know why, but sometimes the polygons is a bit weird. So in my investigation, I found out if I delete the 10 last rows here, then it will work. You still get a little bit of blunted South Africa, but Sometimes you just have to go in and fix yourself. So I go to province nodes. And I know that, South Africa is shape number 25. All right, so let's try to remove the 10 last digits here. 25, save. Discard local changes and reload. Let's check again. You might need to remove one more. Yeah. So it was 11. Okay. Save. Discard changes, reload. Yeah. See, now it's working. So yes, there you have it. So feel free to use this method in any of your games or projects. Happy coding.